Hello, my name is Baylee Butler. I will be doing the effects of divorce on children from ages 6 to 12. Some of the effects that divorce can cause, according to Wood and other authors from the article 2004, is divorce can heighten and externalize behavior problems and internalizing problems. An example of internalizing problems can be anxiety and depression, and externalizing problems could be aggression or disobedience. They also found that children are susceptible to difficulties at home and in school. And according to Weaver and the other authors from the article of 2015, difficulties in functioning, infrequent behavior problems, decrease in academic performance, even years after the divorce, these problems were evident. Also, problems were um, evident immediately after the separation and in early years of the middle child adolescence as well. They were evident. According to Amato and his article from 2005, emotional problems were found, conduct problems, children had low self esteem, and children also had problems forming and maintaining social relationships, and the overall well being of the child was at jeopardy as well. Some factors that cause by divorce of children acting out is unstable living conditions, the child living um, from different home to home, like if the parent can't afford rent, the parent is moving in and out of the house, or just the child in general moving from the mother's house to the father's house or between the two caregivers' homes. Hearing the parental fights on phones or when pickups are happening, the parents working two jobs, and according to DeLongis and other authors as well from the article from 2002, when parents are depressed and when parents are working the two jobs, this takes away attention from the children. Sleep deprivation can be a way that is a cause of why children act out. They're not getting enough sleep at night. Lower income may the child may have to adapt to living less comfortably than they were before. Would also, and the other authors from 2004 also explain that diet can be affected because they're not able to provide as much of a nutritious diet because the income cannot handle it. Also, Wood also explains that the child may attempt to re engage the parent by acting out negatively, and this behavior can become consistent because the child sees that they are receiving that attention. According to Amato and his article from 2005, 2 to 5 years after the divorce, children no longer exhibited elevated problems, although few difficulties were found in boys. But some problems of other children were found that they were clinically depressed, and it was difficult to maintain friendships and sleep disturbances as well. He also found that parental divorce during childhood is linked with a wide range of problems in adulthood. According to Wood and the other authors in the article of 2004, boys had more of an adjustment problems compared to girls. And DeLongis found in the article from 2002, when in single mother situations, when the father is closely involved, the children have higher academic achievement and fewer emotional problems as well. So I'm going to show you a video that I interviewed a therapist, and she deals with children with divorce, and she's going to discuss her divorce with you. Or not her divorce, but divorce topic.
Hello, my name is Connie Horniak. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in private practice in Newport Beach, California. I've been doing this since about 1980, and I work with children and families, children of all ages and adults of all ages, but my specialty is working with children who deal with high conflict divorce situations and also children whose families are formed by adoption. So today I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about what I see as the best interests of the child who's going through his parents' or her parents' divorce. You know, children often feel that divorce is their fault. Even adults whose parents get divorced sometimes wonder if only they'd been better behaved children, maybe they could have prevented that. And of course, it's never the child's fault. But But I actually had one child say to me one time, I wish I could go to a new family so that my parents would stop fighting. And that's how painful it is for children when their parents are arguing about divorce issues and about custody issues. Um, I think most children find themselves torn in their loyalties. Remember, they're 50% of each parent. So if one parent says negative things about the other, they feel like half of them is bad. So if daddy's mad at mommy and he's saying how awful she is, the child often feels like the mommy half of me is mad and is bad, and vice versa. Um, so I see that children sometimes try to prove their loyalty to one parent by saying they don't want to be with the other parent, and then they'll go to that parent, say they don't want to be with the opposite parent, just so that they can feel that they're giving their parents what they want to hear. And that's very hard. It creates a lot of stress for children. Children understand parents' body language, their tone of voice. They understand one-way conversations better than most parents think they do. And when parents argue, children sometimes feel that they're forgotten. And so they will act out to get their parents' attention focused back onto them. I've talked before about the loyalty, and some children now with cell phones will even feel it's necessary to erase their text messages because they don't want one parent to see what the other parent wrote. And that's a very tough position for children to be in. Children as young as 5 or 6 years old these days have cell phones, and they feel it. They feel the need to keep that private, that conversation with each parent. Another thing that I find with young children is they live in the moment, and they can't understand why their parents are unable to let go of old pain, because to them, they live right here, and it doesn't make sense that parents are still angry at one another about things that happened long ago. I find that if parents can just do one thing, the biggest gift they can give to their children is to set their own needs aside, learn to get along with each other, and work together on making decisions on behalf of the children. For example, most children want to have their parents at their sporting events, their graduation, award ceremonies, things like that. These are things that stand out in a child's memory forever. Children 19, 20 years old still remember when they were 6 years old if mom or dad weren't present when they got an award at soccer. And we don't want to tarnish those memories for children just because parents are arguing about which one should attend. Even though parents might be extremely uncomfortable being in the same room with the other parent, just think about how it is for the child who has to go back and forth between one parent and the other all the time until he's an adult. If parents can't put aside their own issues, it's really unfair to expect children to survive and thrive in that kind of an environment. So, again, just emphasizing if parents make their child's needs a priority, put their own anger aside, let children know how special they are and how much they are loved, and remind them always that the divorce was not their fault. I find that divorce stress affects children in many, many ways. It certainly affects their ability to sleep well, to have a good appetite, to do well in school. For a child who's been up half the night because he misses one parent or the other, or because she's feeling sad because she heard her parents arguing on the way out to the car and doesn't sleep well, is not going to do well the next day in school. Children have difficulty with peer interactions because, for example, a child may only be able to have a play date on the night that he's with his mother because perhaps his father works late. And so children have to plan their social lives around it. They feel different. Even though divorce is more common now than it used to be, they still feel that they're different and that in some way their family is not as good as families who are intact. So children need to know, again, that whatever they do is supported and loved by both parents, that family members, grandparents on both sides will attend events, that nobody is blaming them for the divorce, and that they can grow up to be happy, healthy, whole people. Some children have told me that their lives were actually better after divorce because parents weren't fighting as much and there wasn't as much conflict in the home as there used to be, and that they actually are glad that the parents got divorced. But getting through that process and reaching that point is really up to the parents to help their children adjust because, of course, we all want children to be happy and healthy and have normal, productive lives. I hope this is helpful to you in understanding what children go through when their parents are divorced.